Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake, April 15, 2025, Plan Commission meeting. Please stand for the pledge. Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker is absent. Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Here.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Here.
Mr. Kaporo?
Present.
Mr. Oliphant?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Eldridge is absent. Mr. Conley?
Here.
Mr. Kubiak?
Here.
Ms. Heidich is present.
Okay, first order of business is minutes, November 20th, 24 public meeting, and December 4th, 2024 work session. These have been distributed. If there are no corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Parker to approve, second by Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Kaporo?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Okay, we got a couple items we have to add to the agenda. I'd like to amend the agenda at this time. First is Starcevich.
He's going for final approval. He had his preliminary approval in March.
Oh,
And then also Vroom.
who?
Joe Vroom, one lot subdivision. He also had his preliminary done. And that would make 14 on the list instead of 12.
We had him in the work session.
Yeah.
Okay, we have that, and then I also want to, just before public comment, we want to appoint a member to the Unsafe Building Board from this committee here, this commission here, and so we'll amend the agenda for that also. So if I can have a motion to amend the agenda? So moved.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan, second by Mr. Wilkeny. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Kaporo?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. We're going to take Starcevich first, and then we'll move on. State your name and address, please, sir.
James Starcevich, 8601 West 141st Lane, Cedar Lake, Indiana.
Give us a quick synopsis of...
Yes, sir. On March 19th, I came in front of this committee for my preliminary approval to turn my 5 lots into a new 2-lot subdivision, and that motion was approved. And today, for my final, for the last month, Don's team and my team are going back and forth and getting the final approved, and everything is looking good. And with your guys' approval tonight, we can wrap this thing up. I can get my Mylars made, and we can file them, and it's good to go.
Yeah, I think we vetted this thing pretty well, and I don't think there were any comments that had to be addressed from the work session. Don, you okay with everything?
Yeah, we issued a final letter today, really with the only contingency on there, just reiterating the waivers that were approved as part of preliminary plat, which were park dedication, tree placement requirements, stormwater detention, frontage improvements, and sidewalk. That's all we got.
Okay, building department, anything?
Nothing.
Commissioners?
Don, the timing for that garage on the old property, is that pretty well laid out?
I
There had to be
imagine that
another
has to be
garage?
demoed probably before they'll issue a permit for...
But there was another garage had to be built, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a timeline for that on the...
I'm not aware of one.
We demoed the trees already.
Okay.
Got the trees made. I have my contractor coming up with a blueprint right now. I'm just waiting for the property to be approved so I can move forward to get a permit to build it.
Are you gonna have the new garage built on the old property
Yes.
in 12 months?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm looking into it hopefully by August.
all right.
And I don't need to do remonstration? No. No, okay. If there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Mr. Parker to approve, petitioner's request, seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Hang on.
Mr. Parker?
Hang on. You wanna include the 12 months on the new garage?
I'm sure that Tim's gonna handle that.
Okay.
What about Don's letter?
Yeah, Don's letter too.
Does it need to be contingent on that, Don?
You can, it's reiterating
It's all
waivers.
waivers, right?
You noted
I'll
up
add the
preliminary.
contingency of Don's letter to my motion.
And what's the date of the letter?
4/16/25
Today.
today.
Did you read Jared?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Caparo?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much, really appreciate everything.
Now, I think, you know, because of my hearing, I haven't got the name right on that, on the other,
Joe Vroom.
Baroom?
Vroom.
VR.
VROOM.
That's what I thought, Baroom, okay. I want to call Baroom up next, is he present, or? Oh, yeah, I remember him, not his name, but him. Would you, state your name and address, please?
Joe Broom, 7001 West 120th Ave.
And give us a quick synopsis of what you want.
I'm building a house on a 1 acre piece on that side of the lake. I need to turn that 1 acre into a 1-lot subdivision. And I sent my final plat in. Mr. Oliphant had a couple not addressed issues.
Yeah, I don't know if my letter got forwarded to you the first time, or maybe they just weren't carried from preliminary to final. I mean, they're minor issues, so.
They're minor issues, and
Yeah.
I sent them straight to my surveyor today.
Okay.
And he said he had made the changes already.
Okay,
Maybe I can check what I sent you. I don't know if I sent you the wrong copy of the final plat.
it's fine, yeah, they're pretty minor.
The other question, the frontage of the parcel, it goes into some detail on the cost of the sidewalk, asking for a performance letter of credit.
I know it was good at the work session. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking to him, sorry.
So, you want me to?
A performance letter of credit. I'm not sure what that is, what I need to do for that.
So it is, since you are required to put sidewalk on your property, it's a public infrastructure improvement.
Right.
It's a surety to ensure it actually goes in. So it's essentially a letter of credit that the town will hold until it's installed, and then they will release it into what they call maintenance surety at that time.
No, it doesn't mean you're gonna pay for the sidewalk.
No.
Nice try.
So can I just make it a contingency of an occupancy permit that?
Yeah, so you would need to have a letter of credit on, basically brought to the town prior to them signing your final plat, Myler. Tim?
I guess I'm okay with him doing, as long as the sidewalk's in for final plat. I mean, he's gonna have an escrow for his new house that will require that new sidewalk to be put in. I
If
mean,
you wanna waive it, that's up to you.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is as long
Well, up
as,
to them.
as long as the sidewalk is a requirement on his plat, it is on every other new house in the subdivisions also, and we do have an escrow that will, he's gonna have to pay an escrow when he builds his house that will assure that that sidewalk is put in, so I don't think there's any need for a second. I don't think there's any need for a performance letter of credit just for the sidewalk.
Tim or Terry, we got some confusion up here. Can you refresh our memories? Is this the lot where the house was torn down and the foundation's sticking up out of the ground?
Yes,
Yes, that's it. And
So-
it's just a hair less than
Right there.
1 acre.
That's what.
So it's not in the iPad?
No.
Okay, so nothing has changed since he was here 2 weeks ago? Everything's the same?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
moving right along.
There's just some clarifications we need made on the plat before it gets recorded, or before the Mylars get printed. And then, yeah, it's up to this board's discretion if they want to waive the letter of credit and hold it just
So what
in the
are,
escrow.
so what are your
going forward.
contingencies?
One was to add a note, I don't know if it's on here at all, but on the plat, they essentially have a meets and bounds boundary that I think mimics the floodplain for Sleepy Hollow. So we wanted them to add a note about basically where that came from to reference a study that was done. Second one was changing the zip code to Cedar Lakes third one was, adding some verbiage to the legal description on the plat. And then the fifth was the letter of credit item.
Then the legal verbiage is,
Essentially just adding, well, it's actually not part of it, so the legal description called out the west bank
okay,
of Sleepy Hollow as part of its boundary. We wanted that labeled on the actual plat itself.
So that brings up a question, you made a note about getting a comment response letter for future submittals.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you should probably just tell these things to my surveyor. I don't know what most of it means. Is that what the comment response letter would take care of?
Yeah, we try to require those for all resubmittals, just to make sure that where it's been addressed, how it's been addressed, versus us trying to find it. Typically, it's not a big deal with these smaller ones, it's more geared towards the bigger ones.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, the last plat that I received from, I believe, Terry, or it was from you, I think,
Yeah.
it essentially looked like the preliminary plat was just transferred on the final plat, and that's why those three issues weren't addressed.
Okay.
So, I mean, like I said, they're minor. I don't think should hang anything up tonight, but it's just something that Smirziak
Yeah.
he can fix before he prints his Mylars.
Okay.
Mr. Broom, you understand exactly what he's telling you? The three things that need to be
Well,
addressed?
I know my surveyor will.
Yeah. If you want him to call me directly, he's got my number. So,
Okay. I probably will have him do that.
yeah,
And
just so he
help me
can
out and make sure, and then
keep it moving.
Then he can get his Mylars done. He said he was gonna wait on the Mylars till after tonight's meeting. So,
yeah.
after tonight's meeting, what can I do to get a building permit here and get the ball rolling? Do I need to,
The Mylars need to be signed and recorded before you can pull your building permit.
okay, and after that I'm all set, or do I need to be at the next town hall
No,
meeting?
you should be good after that.
Get the Mylars signed and recorded,
Assuming there's an approval.
Yeah.
and just, how does that approval happen?
Happens
Right here.
Right here.
Right here, tonight.
Soon, or not.
All right.
What's the date of your letter?
Yesterday, 15th.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve contingent
I
on.
have a question.
Okay.
Is this just missing from here, just by accident?
Accident,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, that's it, go ahead.
My apologies.
Motion to approve contingent on Don's items on his letter from. what was yesterday?
4/15.
4/15.
April 15th.
Do you want to waive the surety requirement?
I'll put a sidewalk in.
That's for this board to
It's not like
determine.
we have double indemnity, because Tim does that, he does an escrow amount on the house when he gets the permit.
It'll be included?
Yeah, we don't require one on any other new house that puts in sidewalks, so there's no need.
It's all in it.
This is a bit of an oddball. Typically, this is a blanket waiver for these pre-platted single-lot subdivisions, because there's not sidewalk in the near vicinity. This one's a little different because it is close.
Yeah.
So, letter of the law
I'll
subdivision, it's needed.
I'll add waiving surety to my motion.
I'll second it, waiving the surety for the sidewalk only.
But I just want it to be clear that the escrow will still be required at the time of the building permit.
Yeah, the surety will be there, it just won't be separate for the sidewalk, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And you got Don's letter in there of April.
Yeah, Don's letter, April 15th, 2025.
All right, motion was made by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Wilkeny. Is there any other discussion on this matter? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
You got one from Greg and Jerry.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Oh, yeah, we already had a motion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Greg made the motion and Jerry
Yeah,
seconded.
yeah. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
When Mr. Kapora signs your Mylars, you should be able to get a permit.
Awesome.
What golf carts are you gonna be on?
What do we do with some,
70 big rolls.
I might, give you a call on, thank you.
I got a quick question. Don't we need a recording secretary signature
I was
too?
just gonna say the same thing.
So then we need to
It should
appoint
be on the
on
Mylar.
Yeah,
So
but we
like-
don't have her
We
on.
didn't have it, we don't have it on here.
So we need to take care of that tonight too, right?
help take that out if you want.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we need to probably amend the agenda for a recording secretary. Right. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Who was it, Heather?
Yes.
Been here for an hour and all we're doing is amending.
I need a motion to amend the agenda to, appoint a recording secretary.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
A motion to, by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Just a second, I gotta change, I thought I made the motion. So Greg made the motion and
I'm sorry, Bob.
Jerry seconded, okay.
I'm just trying to move things along on the easy stuff, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. We'll, take care of that when we take care of, unsafe buildings at the end of the meeting. Okay, now for the regular, what's printed.
Get Jack squared.
Old business, Lakeside Unit 2, Block 2, owner petitioner, Cedar Lake 133 LLC, 8900 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana, 46373. Vicinity of 5711 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Final request for final plat for Lakeside Unit 2, Block 2. Hi.
Good evening, Jack Slager with Schilling Development, representing Cedar Lake 133, the developers of Lakeside. We are requesting final plat approval for the 34 lots, that is Lakeside Unit 2, Block 2. This is the section that we put the majority of the infrastructure in over the fall, and we've been waiting for the water system to come online. I believe from all reports, the water system is online and up and running and functioning well. So we have paid our inspection fee, we have provided the performance bond requested by Don, and so we are requesting final plat approval. I wanted to have Jack Hulls talk a little bit about some easements, because Don had mentioned easements, side yard easements in his letter, his recommendation letter.
Yeah, so regarding the final plat and the primary plat, there were a couple of areas, and I don't know if Don has that possibly, okay. There were a couple of lots that we have side yard easements where some storm sewer runs through, and on the engineering plans, we showed 10-foot easements that kind of fits nicer with the product. Your ordinance requires 12, and so we're asking for consideration on that matter. That would be something that you could do as it relates to the final plat. I think there's half a dozen areas, or no, actually like 2 or 3 that you would identify. So you would be, as far as an engineering,
A couple of those already got resolved, right?
that was in the other units.
That was the other
Yeah.
Units are blocked.
So we're trying to head that off at the path on this one.
So the reduction of the easement that you're asking for
Yeah.
is to keep the product in compliance with side yard?
Yeah, so the side yard setbacks by your ordinance in the R2 are 8-foot side yards. Your ordinance also requires a 12-foot easement or storm sewer.
Right.
On a side yard, so there's a little bit of a conflict in there. You have an overlap of an additional 4 feet if you have an easement. So we've designed it so that it'd be 10-foot instead of the 12. That's what we showed on the primary plat. It is your ordinance that is 12-foot, so that was a notation that Don made, and we're requesting that there be some consideration that maybe that be reduced to match the primary.
But it doesn't, but you still have the 8-foot, whether it's 10 or 12, right?
Yeah, so that gets actually superseded by the easement, so that you're no longer looking at a side yard easement or a side yard setback. You're constrained by the easement on this side.
And how many lots are in this request? 43?
34.
34, sorry, got it backwards.
So if you extend Lakeside Boulevard south to the south property line and then infill to the to the west.
Okay.
That's basically the unit. There's a couple lots that go that way, but.
So is this the whole section, Don? Is this a whole row of homes that's gonna have the 34 homes are gonna have the,
No, it'd only be specific to 3 lots.
just 3 lots?
Yeah, there's not,
Okay.
not that.
So it's in our April 14th letter, which I don't know if that made the packet or not, but it'd be lots 160 to 161 and then 163.
Otherwise, no other
Otherwise,
requests for
everything else is in order.
deviations? Okay.
Yep. And actually, that's consistent with what we showed on the primary plat.
Don, any comments?
Our April 14th letter had 3 other minor comments in the plat, but they were just cleanup items, so those can be corrected prior to Mylars. On that same letter, a bunch of the fees are summarized, so the letter of credit should be posted in the amount of $1,155,907.45. 3% inspection fee totals to $50,598.83. And then there's also a $2,000 MS4 inspection fee.
Okay, building department, anything?
No, we just need to double check that 3% inspection fee, because I think you guys came in and paid it before he adjusted. I don't know if it's the same or not, but I know
It's
it's.
slightly less. I think you guys posted at like 49 something.
I think it was real close, but, I know they did it, and then Don said it wasn't 100% right, so there may be a small, I think it was close, but, okay. I just wanna make sure that's right.
I had a review comment?
What?
I didn't tell you to post it that early.
Yeah, that happened, so I just wanna make sure that it's.
It's a smidge under. It's like $800 difference, I think.
That's what it's right.
That's lunch money.
Hmm?
That's lunch money.
Like lunch.
What was the third lot where the 10-foot side yard, or was there?
160, 161, and 163.
That's what I was looking at, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. President. John,
Yes.
can we get some public meeting comfort from Don and/or the Jacks about our water and the water component of this plat?
Sure.
Yeah, you want to take?
Sure. I guess a brief summation on Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest is up and functioning. It's running on automatic. It's currently running off of one well because the other wells got some issues with it. But tank is fully operational. Everything's running well. They did flow tests 2-3 days ago. They all came back as expected. So as far as we're concerned, the system's running optimally. This infrastructure is in now. The permit has not been signed, I don't think yet, from Ryan, or has it?
Yeah, so you had mentioned the pressure tests that were done a couple days ago.
Mhm.
I got those test results just recently. I updated the permit and sent it back to Ryan. He said he would sign it. I'm expecting that probably in the morning, and then we'll send that downstate. We've got agreements in place regarding the testing to make sure that the current installation meets the criteria that it needs to. So we anticipate that permitting going forward. I think there's agreements in place about home construction or something like that, really. So
Yeah, obviously, no home construction until IDEM signs off on everything.
Yeah.
And on the water system.
So, and I think Ryan and Brandon have their own inspection kind of punch list they want to see once this gets up and running.
Yeah, we're all.
That's kind of on them. Yep. So we're good right now.
Okay. Any other discussion?
No, sir.
If none, then I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion regarding Lakeside Unit 2, Block 2, final plat. We approve the request of the 34 lots to include the corrections in Don's letter of April 14, 2025, and also to include the deviation from the 12-foot easement to 10-foot on lots 160, 161, and 163.
I'll second it.
Got a motion by Mr. Wilkening, second by Mr. Parker. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. While I'm up here, Don had suggested that I bring up one other item that was not on your agenda, which was the Beacon Point 5 letter of credit. It is moving from performance to maintenance. And I don't know, we're kind of not sure of the date of expiration, but we wanted to make sure that it was taken care of before your next meeting so that we don't have to call a special meeting. So
We'll have an update at the work session?
It is May 19th.
You have it as May 19th. Okay.
That's what we have the expiration date, is May 19th.
So then we're good to go to the next meeting.
Well, no, you would need a special public. The 21st is the public meeting.
Yeah, so maybe we'd have to do something on the 7th.
Or we could just take care of it tonight.
Let's do it on the 7th when everything's in order.
That's fine.
Just have to, you need a vote to establish a special public then for it?
Do we have a report from Don about this?
We have a number, but no report yet. I was waiting on one final re-inspect from Public Works. But other than that,
Let's do
it's
it
ready to
on
go. So,
That's a special meeting.
yeah.
I like special meetings.
To the president.
I know it, well, we gotta take care of it, so, one way or the other.
I mean, I have what the maintenance letter of credit will be. I have the number. I just haven't formalized it, just waiting on that one last re-inspect.
And we've agreed to the number, and we actually have the bank preparing the letter of credit
Yeah.
based on that.
I think it's literally like 3 manholes they need to re-inspect.
Considering there's so much stuff missing in this iPad and everything else,
Yeah,
I'm not
up to you.
comfortable with this.
Okay, that's fine. We'll be back on the 7th if that's what you prefer.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Number 2, Sikorovich, change of use variance. Owner petitioner Steve Sikorovich, 10120 Homestead Court, Cedar Lake, Indiana. City of 13930 Alderman Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Planning Commission approval and recommendation to the town council for variance of use. Hi, Nathan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nathan Vince here on behalf of my client, Dr. Sikorovich, regarding the Hanover House, 13930 Lowerman Street. I believe we are at the finish line at our last meeting. The last item that Don had referenced that he was looking for was a better topographical survey that both expressed the heights for the area by the disabled parking, or ADA parking, as well as the height showing what that was being shot from. So we went back and forth, I think, over the last 2.5 weeks, and I learned a few terms that go on in the surveying world. My understanding, Don, there may be maybe 1 or 2 comments, but I think we're at the finish line.
Our 2 small peaks was that just be formalized that handicap signage is required and that the top of wall elevation comes up to 714.3.
714.3.
Just meets the maximum running slope for ADA accessibility, 5%.
Okay, so that's the top of the concrete.
Top of the wall, he's showing it at 714.0 right now.
Okay, so it's 714.3.
Yep.
And then ADA signage.
Yep, and then we should be okay.
Okay.
Don,
Go ahead.
Don, what's been decided on the south side of the building regarding the handicap parking?
Well, that's what this is. So they'll have 1 handicap spot at the southeast corner of the building.
And the car, and this is perpendicular to the, to Lowerman, parallel with Lowerman?
Perpendicular.
Okay, so the cars are gonna back out onto Lowerman?
Yeah, we got 22 feet behind the parking spot for the header.
All right. No, I just need a number.
Yeah.
I just need a number.
Thanks.
22 feet behind the car, you said?
Yeah.
So they ought to be able to back out and get parallel with.
So they can back out, and if they swing at an angle, they'll have more room.
Okay.
All right. So it's not perfect, but it's doable.
And parking on the north side?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're gonna seal coat it, or are you gonna overlay it, or?
It could be
Overlaid.
Absolutely, yeah, that was part of the submission that we made last time, that is the plan for the overlay, correct?
Okay.
Do we have to include your letter in any motion?
I don't even actually have a letter for you, I just looked at it today. So I have my notes here, that's it. You can just say it's contingent on handicap signage and the proposed retaining wall, top of wall, be extended to 714.3.
Building department, anything?
Nothing.
Nothing? Commissioners?
No, sir.
Any motion should include, signage, contingent on signage, and retaining wall to a height of top of wall to 714.3.
Correct.
So I'll entertain a motion now.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the site plan and make a favorable recommendation to the town council for the variance of use to include the handicap signage as stated in Don's review and the 714.3 top of wall for the retaining wall on the property.
Motion made by Mr. Wilkeney to send a favorable recommendation to the town council. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Hundley.
Mr. President,
Yes.
if I could have a moment of clarification. Dave, as I recall back in January, town council approved it conditioned upon this body approving the site plan. My question would be
They
whether
did,
that has to
and I-
ping pong.
I have a question, in relationship to that regarding the variance of use. I don't think we're at a variance of use, you're at a recommendation on the site plan only.
Right. But my question is, does it go back to the town council? When the town council approved it, subject to this body?
No, site plan's approved here.
So it says, so there is no recommendation to the town council?
There is not.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's fine, Mr. Wilson,
Okay,
I wanted to
no,
clarify.
I'm just reading what's here.
And there is no change of variance in use.
No,
So we're
Okay.
we're doing an approval?
that would
Yes.
be one of those.
Yes. Sorry again.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the request for 13930 Lauerman with the handicap signage referenced by Don's review be compliant, and the top of wall for the retaining wall by the handicap parking be 714.3 elevation.
I have a motion made by Mr. Wilkeney, seconded by Mr. Hundley. Roll call. Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
I got one quick question.
Yeah, Tim.
I mean, I'm just looking at this plan, and I know I kind of had some questions, but, how, did you guys take into account getting the ADA accessibility into the building?
Yes, so actually, Don and I went back and forth on that. There's a really good concrete pad sidewalk in front of the building.
Right.
So we're able to put the asphalt smooth up to it. So when Don references the 714.3, that's the outer skirt.
I understand that, but I mean, once you get to the entryway, I mean, you had to go up there and then go up a step into the building.
No, there's no step.
It just goes right in.
It goes right in, yeah.
There's no extra.
Yeah, that was a misnomer that I think I brought up 2 meetings ago,
Okay.
but it flows right in. Yep, good question.
That's all I got, thank you.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hundley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeney?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Thank you. Number 3, Stuart Oliphant, final plat for a one-lot subdivision. Owner petitioner CBBEL, Don Oliphant, 214 South Main Street, Suite 201, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. vicinity of 13941 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Commissioner is requesting the final plat for a one-lot subdivision.
This is, as we noted at previous meetings, this is a one-lot subdivision for the parcel at 13941 Morse, just south of here. This is in return for them granting an easement to the town for a storm sewer outlet, part of the Shades Phase 2 or 1B project off of Rockland. So this is just cleaning the parcel up, dedicating right away. And yeah, this is what they wanted in return for the easement, so we're just following through on this.
And you're representing Stoyers?
I'm not representing anybody. I don't know why I'm the petitioner, but
You're representing the town.
I'm representing the
Agreement
town.
that the town made with.
Okay.
Correct.
And the Stoyers are good with this?
Yeah.
And the Oliphant is actually not Don.
No.
It's Sawyer / Oliphant.
No relation.
Is the sister of.
And there's documentation that Stoyers are good with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know, on the easement.
Okay.
They had to sign the application.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of negotiations.
Tim, you got anything?
Nothing, nope, I think this is good to go.
Commissioners, got anything?
No, sir.
Entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the final plat for the one-lot subdivision for the Sawyer Oliphant property.
I'll second it. Bob.
Motion made by Mr. Parker to approve, seconded by Mr. Carnahan. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thanks, Don.
No problem.
Do my best.
Easy Oliphant on everything.
Number 4, Surf Internet, owner, Surf Internet, request installation of new town-wide service using fiber optic cables. Name and address, please.
Pat McCauley, 68446 County Road 37, Millersburg. Yeah, just here as a repeat from the last meeting. Also have some other people with me. Scott Franco is our Director of Business Development. Jim Morris is on his team, working on our business development team online. And then Faith Rumfeld, who is a proud Cedar Lake citizen, is our regional market manager. So, yeah, just back to answer any of your questions, find out what you guys came up with for the number for the bond, and that's it.
Don?
I really don't have anything else from the past meeting. I think we were trying to decide if we were going to have each phase come before this plan commission or deal each phase kind of through building department. I think that was one of the biggest things that we needed to kind of vet tonight. And then the letter of credit or bond amount, how that's going to transfer, either stay in a phase, each one has their own letter of credit or bond, surety, kind of how that works.
Do you have a number?
I don't have one off the top of my head. I know what other communities have made them post. I think Crown Point made you post, what, 10,000?
50.
50, okay.
Yeah, so most communities do a bond, I refer to it as a rolling bond, that, we're only gonna work in, well, we'd like to work in as many as possible. We usually only work in one, maybe two, and so that $50,000 bond covers the work we're doing in that current phase. And then, we kind of get the first phase inspected or checked off on, or whatever you guys want to call it, then we move to the next one, and then once we're done, it goes from a performance bond to a surety bond for however long you want it, 3, 5 years, doesn't matter.
So when you move from one area to the next, that 50,000 goes to the next area too?
Yeah, I mean, it's not described by area, but that's just kind of how we think about it and visualize it, but yes, yeah, so.
So at some point, the surety for 5 years keeps coming off the 50K, right?
So usually, we just have a bond of X amount that is for 3 to 5 years, and it never changes, and then it just goes away.
Okay. Mr. Austin, this rolling bond that he's referring to, this is pretty easy to do?
It can be done. I don't know how easy it'll be. I see no details, so I don't know.
When you're saying rolling, you're just meaning from phase 1 through 18.
Yeah,
You're gonna finish up phase 1 and start 3, you're gonna finish 2, start 4.
Correct.
So basically, you're gonna have 2 areas under construction, the same bond is gonna be in place.
Correct.
Throughout, and then after you're done, the bond will remain in place for 3 years.
Yep.
After the final
Correct.
date of the final phase.
You got it.
And,
Yep. Yep.
so it won't be any, it's just basically, that bond is gonna be for the whole project.
Correct, it's just because we're constrained, excuse me, by where we can work, that the chances of damage are very confined
Right.
until we move on, and then usually, if there is anything, it's minor, it's a sewer lateral or a storm drain that we didn't know about until after the fact.
Right.
Yep.
Mr. Austin, can you make a recommendation on this, just to make sure that we're covered in what we need?
I can,
We can send you a copy of, our other bonds, but like I said, there's nothing, I use the term early bond because it's easy to think about, so that, I guess, just layman's terms, but it doesn't necessarily specifically say that, it's just a $50,000 performance bond.
Well, we'd like to be easy for staff to keep following it
Yep,
in case there's a problem in phase 2 and you're on phase 10.
sure, yep.
as an initial thought, and I haven't had any of this information shared with me, so I am hearing it for the first time. Letters of credit probably are a better surety for the town in the context of collection, recovery, use for damage, use for any malady that occurs in the course of the development project. It's also easier to roll over, if you will. I'll use that term. I'm not certain it's the correct term for a letter of credit type surety, but it is an easier instrument to work with in terms of use for the next phase or rollover, if you will. It's also easier for the town to collect. Bonds versus letters of credit have distinct degree of difficulty in collection for anything that occurs. So, as an initial hearing the presentation tonight for the first time, those are my initial thoughts. I don't know if that got the depth that you need, Greg, but...
Yeah, I think it gets us over one hump. What do you think the amount should be? I'm gonna lean on you and Don for that.
Well, let me ask you a question in response to that. What is the value of the improvement?
So we're investing just about $5 million in the community over the span of time.
So starting point is some percentage off that $5 million. And I don't know what that number is without knowing more about construction, land act, costs incurred that the town would be entitled to if there were issues.
So, I guess first off, my recommendation is to treat this like any other construction project, requiring pre-construction videos throughout the entire phase corridor. So at least we can look back on that to establish damages at the end, establish a punch list, work off that punch list before we move on to the next phase. So there's that. This is a little different than, say, I guess a typical construction project. A lot of it's underground. So damages should be minimal, minus utility hits underground, or if you guys have to pop any sidewalks out or curbs out, or that, and restoration would be probably one of the biggest things that I would be concerned about.
Sure.
How big are these phases about, generally?
So most are around 30,000 linear feet, about 300 or so passings, which is, we consider passing a house or a business, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say 50 or 75 would be acceptable, probably. I think the hits underground would be pretty evident. You're gonna have to repair those straight away.
Like I said 2 weeks ago, the only ones that we are harder to see right away are non-forced sewers, because if you're, say you're an older couple, you don't use the bathroom a lot, you don't use the sinks a lot, your sewer's not gonna back up anytime soon, as opposed to me, who live with 4 women and 3 teenagers. That's all they use at the time, You have your own water tower. Pretty much, yeah. So my sewer's gonna fill up and back up a heck of a lot sooner. It's not like a forced sewer or a forced water main where it's gonna come shooting out of the ground. Gas or electric, you're gonna know you hit that right away.
Are you gonna tear any of our roads up?
So the only quote tearing up of a road that could happen is we are legally bound if we are passing over gas or electric, especially gas, we are regulated by the IURC to physically see our drill head pass over or under that utility. So our normal course of practice is what is called a road core. They're usually 6 or 8 inches. It's a coring drill that cores the concrete or asphalt out. We pull the plug out. We watch our machine do its work, and then depending on what the city or the town has for its standard, flowable fill, whatever it is, cold patch, hot patch, we plug it back in, seal it up, and there's never anything, you never notice there. If we have to, and that could happen in a sidewalk or a road. That's the only time we would have to, quote, tear up a road. The only other time it would happen is if there's like a gas pipeline, but those are generally not under a road. They're usually paralleling a road, and that's completely different. So, yeah, that's the only kind of road work we would have to do. Unless we hit something in the middle of the road, then, yeah, we're going to tear up the road, and we're going to be on, we're going to be on the hook to replace it and fix it. Say we hit a water main or something like that. That could happen, but on a normal course of business, we don't tear up road panels or sidewalk panels unless we absolutely have to.
And you said the last time you hit something in, was that Hobart or?
Yeah. I gave the example that we didn't even know we hit a storm drain literally 3 years ago, and we just found out about it, fixed it 2 days later. So that's like I said, the storm drains and sewers are impossible to know when they happen unless it's a force. So, and most of the time that happens on the resident's property because no one marks private sewers. They stop at the right of way. So, yeah. Sorry, they don't stop at the right of way, they stop at the tap. They stop at where the connection is. So if the connection is at the road, at the curb, and the right of way is 6 feet into their property and we're around 3.5 feet in, and we hit their sewer, we won't necessarily know it.
So when I Cedar Lake, they're in the middle of the road, most of them, aren't they, Tim?
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
They're deep.
Tim, I got a question. When they do a core into the street or sidewalk, would you consider that the same as an asphalt cut, or?
No, because it's like you said, it's just a 6-inch hole. I don't know if I'm too fond of drilling 6-inch holes in the sidewalk and just patching them.
Yeah, most people aren't. That's usually a panel repair, but yeah.
I mean, I would think that in a road, I would think that flowable fill and a little asphalt on top would be fine. In a sidewalk, it would be best to cut the panel and replace it just for cosmetic. You're gonna see a patch, so. But I guess I wouldn't necessarily consider each one of those a road cut. I think that, I'm sure that these crews are gonna establish some kind of working relation in town with the guys that are gonna be inspecting.
They're gonna have to. I'm just trying to make sure that we cover all our bases.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we have a road cut permit, if there is a need to cut the road or to, if they hit a water main or something under the road, they have to cut out the road, fix it, that's when that would come into play, but I think all that stuff would be kind of incidental to, anything else.
Yeah. Same with like traffic control, like we generally don't have to shut a street down, but there might be an instance depending on where it is or what it is, and so if there's any kind of city ordinance or whatever that you have to give 48 hours notice or fill out a form for a road closure, we go over all that stuff in what we consider pre-construction meetings with like the actual players that are in the field and on the ground working.
So, but Greg, you mentioned most of our sewers are in the road, but they may cut a residential.
Most of the ones I've encountered are in the center of the street.
Right, but they might cut a property owner's.
It's the services.
It's the services, right.
Yes. I've actually had that happen on one of my buildings. So I understand how it works and what happens, and I've seen the result.
Yeah, which is why we try to stay in that 24 to 36 inches, because we're usually away from them.
Well, I want to explore what happens a little farther.
Sure.
You knock a neighborhood out for 12 hours, gas, electric, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do those people do? Single-family home, 100 homes, 2 homes? How do you guys handle that?
I understand, yeah, so, luckily, we have not done that kind of damage, but we have.
I'm sorry, I said it.
No. So, but we have had contractors hit a main, gas main. That's usually when you get displaced, because if it's a main there's safety reasons. And so if a family gets displaced for a day and they gotta go to the hotel and, money out of their pocket for food, it's all reimbursed. We work directly with the resident, the homeowner, make our contractor pay for it. All of our contractors have a very high level of liability insurance. We have our own liability insurance. It is all taken care of, 100%.
And you can provide those documentation
Oh, yeah.
over here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's usually part of the permitting, at least the first one is to show all that kind of stuff, all of our insurance and, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We're, using a local contractor, well, local-ish, they're from Mishawaka.
Yes, Mr.
John,
Conley.
I just wanted to bring, I asked Cliff if he would attend this meeting, and he could even let the Plan Commission know, and also maybe some of the people here, the benefits of this type of internet service that would be coming into the community. So Cliff, if you'd like to say some things at this time?
If you're okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Good or bad, I guess I'm the reason they're here, primarily for greed, because I want high-speed internet for the town government. I'm a big believer in competition, and I'm not all Comcastic about our current provider, and I think that having another player in the game is important. I have to work daily with surf customers, and I'm very jealous. High-speed, reliable internet is what they have, and that's what we don't have in our community. And not so much, we do have good download speeds, but upload speeds is what we hurt. That hurts businesses. Hurts remote workers, hurts remote learners. So I think it'd be great for our community, our residents, our businesses. I think it's a good economic boon for us to help as we transition and grow. And I want high-speed internet here, so that's why we're here. I do have a question. What's your depths that you're usually working in?
So we will generally be 24 to 36 inches, unless NDOT has very specific rules about how deep you have to be until you come to a handhole. And some counties have different depth requirements, but usually we're 24 to 36.
And then diameter?
So we pull in 1.25 inch conduit.
One or two, or is it?
It depends.
Okay.
Most of it is a single duct, especially when you're actually in the neighborhood on what we call our distribution side. The main roads where we come out of our electronics cabinet and go to our splitter cabinets, there may be instances where there are 2 or 3 because we keep our what we call our backbone fiber away from our distribution fiber, so they can't, less chances of going down, less chance of damage.
And I'm not trying to monopolize the phone, so I can ask a couple more questions. So,
Go ahead.
the build-out is 2 gig, or is it 10?
I don't know.
So you're gonna,
That's why he's here.
well, we're actually rolling some things out starting May 1st, but basically there's options for folks. I mean, if somebody wanted to have 8 gig or 10 gig, they can have that, but what's gonna be a standard here, affordably, is gonna be options from 5 gig, 2 gig, 1 gig, for folks that wanna have 300 up and down, like you said, symmetrical speed, or 500, those options are there. So the services I just described are gonna range somewhere between, $110 to $55 a month on average. That's what you can expect as a resident. And then we make it pretty simple to work with us. So not to turn this into the commercial part of our speech, but we work with no contracts and no connection fees, the price lock for life at the speed that you sign up for. And there won't be other fees and taxes on your bill, things like that. So that's what we've been doing for 25 years. And so that's what you can expect for the speeds and the service.
And can I add just a little bit to
Yeah.
that? So the 300 meg package is actually going to be our lowest at $30 a month.
So we can hear her better.
Hello.
You need to state your name and address, too.
My name is Faith Rumfeld, and my address is 14718 Dewey Street, here in Cedar Lake. So our lowest package is going to be the 300 meg, and that is going to be $30 for that. In addition, the biggest thing, when I talk to people about fiber internet, I'm sorry, I always have this problem here, I wanna talk to them. The biggest thing is, no Sunday night lag. It doesn't matter what your neighbor's doing, your path is your path. And so you don't run into problems where you can't watch a game on Sunday night because it's spinning the whole time, or your kids trying to do their homework and they can't get on the internet. This is what makes fiber different than cable, which is what Comcast has in this market right now. Fiber really is leveling the playing field. This internet would be something that people that live in Naperville, that usually get the newest, biggest things, they don't have. And so it really helps take these communities and raise them up so that you can compete globally, you can work from home, the people that can come live here and enjoy this, that radius becomes much bigger. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm just greedy, I mean, that's the whole, there's no kickbacks, there's no nothing.
You've made that very clear.
Yeah, I just want faster stuff for our government to work better.
Do you have, TV with it too?
No, we do not offer TV. We have some really good, like how-tos and like, streaming. Actually, we just had like a streaming 101, like webinar or whatever you want to call it. But no, we are strictly an internet provider. We do voice over IP, like phone stuff for people who still want to pick a phone up off the wall. Yeah, we do not do TV right now.
And is it necessary to have a landline in order to have internet?
Nope. Not unless you want one.
Okay.
That was that box they were gonna put in your front yard.
Well, I still have a landline, and I tried to get Comcast to cancel it, and they said you gotta keep it.
Nope, not at all.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna
matter of the bond.
argue the benefits of your service.
Sure.
I'm just trying to make sure that we have all our bases covered for.
You gotta protect your town and your residents,
Yeah, for our town residents, so. Although that's good information, Cliff, and good question. I'm still looking for a number, Don.
Since they're new in town,
You got a number?
and we have trust issues, of course, I would say 75.
75,000?
Yeah, 25 more than what Cromwell had.
That's what I have written down.
Back to, I'm sorry, David, are we doing a bond, or what did you call that? A letter of credit?
Letter of credit.
Okay.
And,
Well, I don't know what they're doing.
are you,
Yeah, I mean, we prefer bond, because we've never done the letter of credit, I'm sure we can do it, but.
are you good with 75?
Yes.
Okay, are you good with, God forbid, the repairs get to be more than half of that?
Extending
Getting
it?
another letter of credit?
Yep.
For 75?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, and, yeah, and then they would be transferred. Transferable letter of credits, is that what you're suggesting? Or just a running 75, if we get that 50% of that for some reason, we get another one at 75?
Hey, the whole project would be bonded, the way I see it, bonded or letter of credit for $75,000. Now, if he has to do repairs during the course of doing the work, it doesn't affect that bond at all, because it
The
comes out of his
the
pocket.
bond is only if we default
You
and
leave.
shut our doors,
Okay.
exactly, correct, yeah, and if that happens, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that the whole project would be bonded or letter of credit, whatever we decide on, for $75,000. It's gonna cover the areas being worked in at the time.
And maximum of 2 areas at a time.
Okay.
So that way, you know, that's covering it for sure. And just like we talked about, you know, number 1, when he finishes number 1, he can start on 3. When he finishes number 2, he can start on 4, and so on and so forth.
Or whatever his schedule is.
Yeah.
You know, and the bond is just gonna be in place for $75,000.
And you're gonna bring all that liability paperwork in when you get a permit?
Yep, we can send it ahead of time, yeah.
You want something extra for road cuts if you have to have them, Tim? I mean, we struggle.
Well, that will be a completely, I mean, throughout this process,
So you're gonna
he's gonna have a permit to put in the infrastructure as asked, but if a road cut comes into play,
Separate fee.
that'll just be, it's a $250 road cut permit fee, which will happen in, you know, when it happens. If it needs it, we'll deal with it at that time and move on. So it's just doubtful that he will, but if he does, we'll have him a permit the next day, and then, you know, whatever it is, if it's an emergency, obviously, we get the emergency taken care of and the road cut permit after the fact. I mean, we do it all the time, so it's no problem.
I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but
Right.
this is new stuff, and I just wanna make sure everything's covered.
Yeah, I think it'll be, I mean, it's all in place, and if it comes to a point where we need it, it'll be handled individually from this negotiation. It'll just be like any other one.
You mentioned earlier, whatever the town prefers for the core patch.
Yeah.
You gonna handle that too? Cause I don't think
Yeah.
we have a for that.
Yeah, we're probably gonna want the flowable fill with some hot mix on the top.
Right.
So the dot is gone, and then if there is any coring in concrete, we'll want that panel replaced.
Okay.
I know the town prefers a letter of credit, as opposed to a bond. That's what we've always requested, so I think we should stick with.
Yeah, I just gotta figure out what it is. Like I said, we've never,
Well,
I'm sure it's not that different, but
Mr. Conley there can send you the information, what have you.
You'll be doing a performance bond for the same amount, $75,000. And that'd probably be the way to handle it.
How many communities are you in, northwest Indiana?
So, we just broke ground in Merrillville, we're building Crown Point, Portage, Lowell, we're getting ready to start St. John, Dyer, Sherrville, I mean, yeah. I couldn't even list them all. Valparaiso.
And you haven't had to upgrade anything yet?
Upgrade as far as?
Upgrade.
No.
Upgrade something you've already done?
Nope. Nope. The beauty of fiber is that it is only only hindered by the equipment on either side. And so it's not like copper, it's light, so, no.
You gonna do this, you want me to do it?
So, I do wanna clarify, because Terry said bond again, and you.
No, it's not a bond.
Okay.
It's a letter of credit.
All right, so I just need to understand what that is. That's all right, we just need to understand
You
what it
need
is.
an explanation from the attorney on what a letter of credit is?
I'll get with Terry, and he can,
Okay.
you have all that language or whatever it is? Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
It might be easier than a bond.
I don't think so.
Banks are very familiar.
I'm sure they are. Okay. Do you got anything else, Scott?
No, I think once we get that covered, I think we're ready to rock and roll.
So what is the next step after this approval?
Maybe.
You're right, sorry. If we get approval, what would be the next step?
Get your bond.
Okay.
Letter of credit, and then you would have to go see building department for your permits or whatever.
But no town hall, no, there's no other approval, this is it, you guys are a
To
case.
the end of the road.
All right.
Hey, Tim, are you expecting a building permit for each phase? Are you expecting a building permit for each phase?
Yeah,
That's what we talked about last time, yeah.
one permit for each phase.
Yeah, we would probably send them in 2 at a time, and then, like, when we're probably, I don't know, whatever you want, 2-3 weeks, or a month before we start the next one, we'll send the next 2 in, and I think you guys said it's like a couple of days review to.
Yeah. So your plan's final, ready to go?
Yep, yeah, what you guys saw 2 weeks ago is, I'll double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those are 100% final. They're what we consider our low-level design, so we're ready to roll.
So the phase they're working on has to be complete before they can get the permit for the next area.
Right, 2 phases at a time.
Right. Okay.
More than 2.
Okay.
All right, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain motion.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the SERP Internet request townwide for installing fiber optic cables, and a letter of credit in the amount of $75,000 be applied, paperwork for liability be turned in permitting time, maximum 2 areas at a time, to include all Don's comments and all agreed upon discussion points tonight.
And also the letter of credit remain in place for 3 years after completion.
And the letter of credit remain in place for 3 years upon completion of the
Final phase.
final phase. Yeah.
All right, a motion by Mr. Wilkinen to approve. I have a second?
One second.
Second by Mr. Hunley. No further discussion, roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Wolfgang?
Yes.
Mr. Caparo?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll shoot you an email tomorrow.
Number 5, NRAA Family Investment Site Plan for Railside Lot 6. Owner petitioner, NRAA Family Investment 11688 Patterson Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. They left us fast as they're in or not? Vicinity of Railside Site Plan Approval for Railside Lot 6 PUD.
Jack Halls from DVG, representing the petitioner NRAA Family Investments this evening for a site plan approval on Railside Lot 6. We've submitted a set of plans, we got engineering review comments, had a discussion with you 2 weeks ago regarding some of that. We've been going back and forth regarding those comments. I think we've got just one or two minor issues. Don can address those with you, but we're looking forward to your consideration tonight on this matter.
All right, so we've been looking at this quite a bit over the last 2 weeks. We're to a point where we're pretty comfortable. One of the biggest things is they need to record 12-foot easements on either side of this lot and on lots 5 and 7, because there is an off-site flow route that comes through 6. So that should be part of any motion, should be contingent on that. And then we have some minor cleanup comments that are on our letter dated today, if you so move forward with it. Any motion should be contingent on the letter dated April 16th.
Everything you mentioned is in that letter.
Yes.
Tim, do you have anything?
Nope, looks good.
Commissioners?
No, sir.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion regarding approval for favorable approval for site plan for Railside Lot 6 PUD and Don Oliphant's letter dated 4/16/25.
15?
They said 16. 16.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down.
Oh, I thought he said 15.
Don Oliphant's letter dated April 16th, 2025, and completing all the corrections regarding stormwater and other comments.
Have a motion by Mr. Wilkening to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Parker. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wolfgang?
Yes.
Mr. Caparo?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much, appreciate that.
You stay in there? Number 6, Hen Holdings LLC, site plan for Railside Lot 26, owner petitioner Hen Holdings LLC, 13733 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, vicinity of Railside. Site plan approval for Railside Lot 26 PUD.
Hello, Jack Halls from DVG, representing the petitioner Hen Holdings, LLC. On this project, we're requesting site plan approval for Lot 6, Lot 26 in Railside. We've submitted site plans for these about a month ago. Again, we got review comments 2 weeks ago. We were here, did work study, been going back and forth with Don. I believe we've addressed all the matters on this particular petition, and look forward to you considering this evening as well.
Same thing, letter dated 4/16, there's 2 small contingencies. One's just regarding electrical site plan, be submitted as part of the building permit, which is pretty standard. And then applicants requesting a waiver for side yard screening on the north perimeter, which is pretty much in line with the other ones, the other M1 lots to the north. The reason they're not requesting on the south, because that is required, because that's your break point between B1 and M1, right? B1, B3? B3, sorry.
B3, yeah. And we are providing that screening on the landscape plan.
Tim, do you have anything?
I was trying to look at a picture of, or a plat, but I don't have one for lot 26.
Actually, I might have missed.
So we're to, no,
I thought I saw it.
I thought I did too.
So 27 was the 4-unit building that was approved?
No, I just don't have a copy of your site plan on the computer to look at.
Oh.
I mean, I have the elevations of the building, which is all cool, but I don't have.
Yeah.
Well, we have the lot 6 one, but I don't see it.
I'm looking at it.
It's under the Stoyer, right?
It's under Stoyer, that's where it's at.
No, actually, it's a page on the drawing. Should have been numbered up there.
Is it messed up, my numbers?
What's that? Since lot 6, and that's, well, and I thought we had a good one.
I have no comment, because I can't see what it looks like.
Okay.
That makes a few of us.
It's a single-use building, on the south side parking lot, yard
Is that 138, 30?
It is 6.
13830,
Sure.
Alexander?
138851.
So that's the road we're looking at.
Yeah, it's labeled as rail type 26 in here, it's actually lot 6.
Yeah, the vicinity is not actually identified with an address on the application, or on the agenda, but it's real time lot 26. And that is Alexander. The petition, the address in here is the petitioner. That's what we're getting. Well.
Don said he didn't have electrical or lighting. What didn't he have?
No.
It's just electrical site plan.
So,
electrical site plan.
electronic site plan, so the conduit and.
Okay, so there's no issue with stormwater on that property that has to be addressed either?
Okay. Plan.
Tim, you got PC packet 416-25 PDF in there? That's where it's at.
Yeah, I have it. Right, I only have lot 6.
We're gonna.
I mean, I have lot 6, but I don't have lot 26. I had the last one, but I went, the next thing is the little, but I looked all through it and there's no. Do you have a paper folder or no? No.
It's on the.
If you go to that thing that says PC packet 416, you can start over.
Can you get to where? Here, can't get to it from here. Can you come down?
It says lot, it just shows lot 26 and it just shows sheets and views, that's it. There's no site plan.
Just that here, confirmation. We've got, that whole thing, this is 26, plans and specs. Which one's the?
Well, you need to see that, Tim, or?
Well, I guess
I don't think this
I like to.
has anything to do with
I
speed.
at least like to just.
This is really much looking at.
I mean, I can leave that, I can leave my comment as no comment.
Sorry, that's it.
Take a look.
Right behind you. Yeah, so based on.
It's on the screen.
Probably reviewed these documents 2 weeks ago. Here you go.
Yeah, I remember it at the work session.
Yeah, there really were minor revisions to this one, from 2 weeks ago to this week, or to this meeting.
I wonder, because we added so much stuff in
And
there.
a little north line grading that we had to address, and, a couple of comments, so.
If you're looking for downspouts, then there's how.
Yeah, downspout connections.
Downspouts are connected to.
So it's in the media.
And on the last one too? Yes, we're looking into that. Yeah, it looks good. I like that they see it on a piece of paper, but no comments. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioners, any more discussion?
No, sir.
Not, then I'll entertain a motion. Any motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the site plan for rail side lot 26.
Motion made by Mr. Parker,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Wilkening.
Say contingent on the
Contingent
April
on
16th
Don's-
letter and a
Don's-
waiver of that screening.
Be contingent on Don's April 16th letter, contingent, what was it, screening?
Yes, north line screening.
North Lane screening? I forgot about that, I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
So further discussion, roll call please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jack. Number 7, Henderson Concept Plan, order petitioner, Tom and Barb Little, 9602 West 135th Place, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 13318 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a waiver for site plan, parking, drainage, paving, lighting, and signage that is currently on the lot for the new addition. Good evening.
Good evening. Rob Penn, 12455 Curtis Avenue.
Tom Little's 9602 West 135th Place.
John, yeah, if you recall from the work session, you asked to spell out all those waivers we would need for this property due to its uniqueness, and those are listed on there, the site plan, parking, drainage, paving, lighting, signage. And we discussed last time, 2 weeks ago at the work session, that we would reduce the addition down to 16 feet. So that's our plan. So we're asking for waivers for those specific items, and we'd like to, be able to hopefully get a favorable vote so we can move on to the building department and give Mr. Little his rate that he needs.
Todd, any questions? Any comments?
No, this is really a policy decision if you want to grant these waivers.
Well, I believe 2 weeks ago, Mr. Henn, 3 weeks ago, no, 4 weeks ago, he asked for waivers for all the waivers. I thought that was good. But 2 weeks ago, you had also said that you wouldn't be asking for anything else on this property until the subdivision criteria has been met.
Well, because,
And if I put that in my motion,
yes, you can
would-
continue, because when
there would be no more waivers, no more approvals on that property.
there
without,
would be no more coming and just asking for waivers, because once the state takes that property in the front,
Yeah.
obviously things have to change there at that point. And then we
you mean
would
no
come
more
in
cars
at that-
in, no more cars in the grass?
Well, there probably won't be any more grass.
Yeah.
At that point, we would come in for a one lot, and then we would, open that up for discussion, come in for a full one lot subdivision at that point.
You also indicated that when the car lot is gone, that you're not going to let another one come in
That's
there.
correct. When he's been a great tenant, and he's got, he's got nice vehicles out there, and priced fairly, so he's a good asset to the town, so I don't wanna just kick him out.
Yeah.
We'll let him stay as long as he wants, but I would imagine when the state takes that strip, that it's gonna reduce him to the point where he might not be able to be there. So when he decides to go, that will never be a car lot again, as long as I, own it. Unless Tom wants to take it and sell some of his cars.
He's got too many other people's cars.
Got enough on my hands as it is.
I have no other questions.
Any other discussion? Building department, anything?
I got a question. I guess, do you have like a maximum number of cars that you're gonna have at your place at any time? Like, 20, 10, 5, 15, I mean, just a number, because I guess we looked into the car lot over the last week, and it gets pretty congested in there. I mean, they're allowed to have 25 cars by their approval, which we're working on. But I would also like to see, I don't really necessarily, I don't know where you're at, like what you would feel comfortable with, but it's a lot easier for me 2 years from now when there's more than what is allowed to say, hey, you're approved 25, or, you know, whatever the number is. I don't, like I said, I don't really.
It's hard to judge the collision business.
For sure, but I mean, just something you would feel comfortable with. Is there a number or no? And I hate to throw you, I hate to throw this.
Maybe 20-ish, it just depends. Some cars come in on a record, they sit.
So you're good, you would be good with 20?
A little bit.
You'd be good with 20 maximum?
I would think that's reasonable, yeah.
I mean, I don't wanna undercut you, I just want, because when it's very hard for me to get the call to go, say, go look over there, there's a mess, and then I have no, you know, I mean, but if I have a number, I can say, hey, get rid of 5 cars, or you're gonna get, you know what I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
It makes it much,
20 would be.
makes it much easier for future.
I can tell you right now, I have about 7 vehicles that are coming out of there, that have been there for a while, some are scrapped, some are my personal ones, you know, and just get rid of those. And then cars can come inward, and they're not gonna be in the road like they are right now.
Tom, what's your wintertime number when all the crashes happen?
You mean how many do I average?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, because, you know, we push the snow around, and it kind of eats up a little room too, and it look like there's more cars than there really is. But I would say it's probably about 15, 20, if I had to guess.
He's got room to keep stuff inside now too, so that's just.
He's gonna have room to keep
Mine around that.
4 or 5
Cars
inside.
outside can be inside now, I'm working on.
So you're good with 20 year round?
What's that again?
You're good with 20 cars year round?
Yeah, I would say so.
How many grand prize? How many cars is he allowed? 25?
25 for sale.
That's by the state?
Yes,
Yes.
for sale, you can have customer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would just be nice for, you know, and I think that's fair, but I just wanna, just so, I mean, I don't think I'll need it, but it's very good to be able to pull out that file and say, here's what you approved for, make it happen.
Yeah, there's gonna be a pretty good cleanup happening there pretty soon, because one, we've gotta get them out of the way so we can construct the addition, so most of the towns will be, you know, going, especially the ones that are, the total.
Exactly.
And
some of those are actually vehicles fixing other vehicles, and I don't need them anymore. Just waiting for the weather to get cleared up, and then we can start getting to work and get them out of there.
Little spring cleaning.
That's what it is, exactly.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the request for the site plan and waive all the things listed as criteria for expansion. Mr. Little's would have no more than 20 cars, and as Mr. Henn stated, no further waivers would be asked for or granted on the property until subdivision development criteria has been met.
we'll come in for a one lot.
You
We
come in
won't
for-
ask for any more waivers without coming in for a one lot subdivision.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Okay. Yes, Tim?
I got, last time at the work session, it was discussed about a 16-foot addition versus the 24, which was requested.
Well, I have nothing on paper here, so.
I know, but I'm just going by my memory also, but
They agreed to 16 by 42.
Okay.
I would just like that clarified
And I will-
in your guys'.
And I will amend my motion to include a 16 by 42 foot bay as an expansion area.
Okay, Gary?
Good, thank you.
A second.
Motion by Mr. Wilkening, second by Mr. Hundley.
Mr. President,
Yes.
to Tim's point earlier, and I'm just asking this for future reference, with these various waivers, there's a lot, 5, 6, 7 of them, whatever they are. Are those unlimited waivers, or are they waivers that have objective baseline for enforcement or compliance, both, actually, purposes?
Well, there's,
The waivers would be for this request and not unlimited.
this request only. I'll amend my motion to include this request only, and listed here are 5 waivers. Were there more, Don?
No, 5.
5.
And the 5 waivers, 6 that are listed are,
Site plan.
site plan parking, drainage, paving, lighting, and signage.
Garrett, you said 6?
Currently
You're
on line
including
for the
site
new-
plan?
Yes.
Okay.
You almost have to.
Did you want to reference that letter from, and dated March 10th?
And I'll amend my motion to include the letter from Hens dated March 10th. Is that the one that requests waivers from all the waivers?
No, it's one there.
No. I mean, would be waived, well, blanket, he calls it as be waived by this blanket waiver request, and then he goes and lists the 5, not including the site plan, but.
Okay.
I don't like the word blanket.
Let me start over.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the request for 13318 Wicker Avenue to include Tom Little's maximum cars to be 20. No further waivers granted on the property until one lot subdivision has been granted. The building approved is 16 by 42, and to include 6 waivers and 6 waivers only for this property this time. No blanket. Mr. Connolly's counting site plan, parking, drainage, so there's 6.
Okay, whatever.
So is it 16 by 42?
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. 16 by 42, yeah.
I thought it was 43, but it's 42.
42? Okay.
Okay, Jim, you agree with that? Yes. I got a motion by Mr. Wilkening to approve, second by Mr. Hundley. We're gonna do another roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yep.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapar?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Number 8. Radlovich, owner petitioner, Red Carpet Smoke Shop, 13202 Wicker Avenue, Suite A, Cedar Lake, Indiana. City of 13202 Wicker Avenue, Suite A, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting use of existing drive-up service window for the business. Name and address, please.
My name is Kalpesh Patel. The address will be 13202 Wicker Avenue, Suite A, Cedar Lake, Indiana. So I'm requesting to use of existing pickup window for my business to help my grow business.
Yeah, there's an existing window there that's been used for a drive-up for years, and he's just a new owner, and he wants to continue using that window or start using it again. I know he's discussed whatever he had to with the owners to the south of him about anything that needed to be done, and I don't see any problems with it. Don, do you have anything?
No, I don't have any issues. There's ingress, egress easements on the adjacent parcels that would allow access. So, from that standpoint, I think we're good.
Building department, you have anything?
No.
No, this has been there for a long time, and I think that in the type of business that it is fine. You know, like he's gonna, like you said, he has 6 or 7 drive-through customers a day. It's not like a Starbucks or something, so I feel that it's pretty, you know, it's a convenience, it's set up, it's good. I don't have any problems with it.
He also stated that he only had a couple, 3-4 cars a day using that window, so. Commissioners, any discussion?
I think he's already had an arrangement with the property owners
with the road behind him, everything's been agreed upon.
I don't, Mr. Teal is not here anymore, but he had told me that what they had to work out was between them, he was good.
Right.
He was good with this, so.
Right, and there's no bearing on this, but he did mention that they're in conversation and they're close to, if not already, came upon an agreement, but.
Well, I'm gonna include that.
Do we need a motion on this here, or is it just?
No, we need a motion on this.
That's practice.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Motion, by Mr. Hunley to approve,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Parker.
Do we wanna, you wanna include an agreement with the adjacent property owners?
It really has no bearing on this window.
No, they have an ingress egress easement, the only thing there's just a maintenance agreement between them, but that should have nothing to do with this at all.
Right.
Because the agreement that you're approving is only for his use. If there was another tenant brought in, the other tenant would have to do the same thing.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capura?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Use your window.
Number 9, Recupero, owner petitioner Alexander Recupero, 10819 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Cindy of 10819 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner wants to rent single-family home while running business on the property. Okay,
Oh, sorry. Al Recupero, 10812 West 134th Place, Cedar Lake. So, yeah, I'm asking for your guys' blessing to rent the single-family home on this property of Zone B3 and run my paintless net repair and auto detailing business out of the shop in the back.
Don, do you have any comments?
I do not. I do not.
You still good with 12 months on that gravel area?
Yeah, yep, I'm gonna get on that, that's really fine.
Okay.
Building department have any comments?
I guess my only concern that I thought of after looking at this, after it was here last time, is that would the need for a second sewer bill be necessary, since now he's splitting the property into a dual? I mean, essentially, before the garage was a part of the house, the sewer was a part of the one use, but now that he's using it for a rental and a business, it's kind of like two uses for one property, you know what I mean, so.
It probably wouldn't need to sewer.
I don't know, I
Because
just
it's two
think
different.
it's kind of a, normally
You
when
got a
this
rental and a
happens.
business.
Like 2 weeks ago, I heard somebody say that the house was already rented before by the old owner.
Oh, I don't know.
No?
I think you live there.
Huh? Well, I thought so too, but there was a lag. I thought somebody said it had been
Well, again,
rented before.
using it as if there's somebody renting the house and you're using the garage as a garage, that's
Yeah.
one thing, but now that there's a rental property and I'm just asking for clarification, because I don't want to be making that decision, but.
Well, do we make that decision, or is somebody else?
Has the bathroom in the garage been there since it was built?
No, I just got permits to put that in.
Just put it in. He's got a grease trap, a floor drain, and a bathroom, and, which again was put in, which was good when it was a house with this garage in the back, but now that you're separating this is, I'm just asking the question. I mean, it is.
Wouldn't that be up to the sewer department?
I don't know what the criteria is.
I don't either.
Mr. Austin, you know what the criteria is?
Two services here.
Okay.
Well, we don't make that decision, do we?
Well, it'll be a utility board
Utility
direction.
board, okay.
But I don't know how much the decision there is about it. It's got the fact pattern, it's understood. Have to treat everybody the same.
Well, the utility board would have to decide or whatever on that, not us. That's the point I'm getting at.
And that's not a plan commission.
So all we're
Site
concerned.
plan is yours.
All we're concerned with is renting the front property, the house, and running the business out of the back. and this is,
Site plan.
for our approval, right?
Yes.
It's site plan approval, John.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve renting of the single-family home while he runs his business and on the back property, the rest of that we can sort it out by another.
I second that.
Motion made by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mr. Capura?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
And just for clarification, he can add a sign, any sign that he would want that would meet the ordinance, correct?
On the building?
On building.
On the building or out front?
Yeah, he's entitled to,
Same as everybody else.
So
I just want it-
fine.
I just want it on the record so everybody's on the
Yeah.
same page.
So that's something I'd have to deal with the building department to do the signage then?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so my other question then for the sewer, is this something that I need to proactively go?
That would probably happen with your occupancy for your business, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They're gonna have to sort that out.
Have to hold it.
Beyond the wall.
Okay, all right.
Because we had some people that have a house, and then they have a garage with an apartment up on top, and they have to pay 2 sewer bills.
No, I get it. I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with that, whatever. Yeah.
All right.
I get it. That makes sense.
Okay, thanks, Al. Okay, number 10, Servpro, new satellite location, owner 14420 Moore Street, LLC at 14420 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, petitioner Burton Enterprises LLC at 143-7 West Lincoln Highway, Sherville, Indiana, 46373. Approval for new satellite business in this existing location. Name and address, please.
Daniel Fagan, 205 West Lakeview Drive, Lowell, Indiana.
Just give us a quick synopsis of what you want to do.
I have a satellite location for Servpro in the main building at 14420 Moore Street.
Okay.
What does it consist of? What do you do?
They do water reclamation. We're still gonna have the office in St. John and stuff in St. John. This is gonna be primarily storage, one office worker, dehumidifiers, air movers, that, content storage, stuff like that.
So if you've got a crew working on Lowell, they
Yeah.
don't have to run all the way back to St. John, they can just run to Cedar Lake and get what they need.
Correct.
That's kind of the gist of it.
Don, you got any comments?
Nope.
Building department? He's gone. No comments.
He's coming back.
Jerry, you got any comments?
He had parking out on Moore Street, and it was at one time painted, and I had asked him to freshen it up, and probably with his right-of-way, that he would be better off with angled parking going there as opposed to 90 degrees. And he said he'd be willing to do that, and then if you've already got it done?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the request Tim and I were talking about before was the gate. There's a 20-foot gate on the back of the parcel as far as access goes. We haven't talked to the fire department about this, but he is open to that if it needed to be a Knox box to put in there so he could open up the gate. The gate does open up 14 foot wide. So it's a 20-foot gate, but there is a little bit of a restriction there. But it does appear that it opens up 14 foot, which should be plenty enough for a fire truck to get back in there.
Isn't a Knox box required on all commercial buildings?
Excuse me?
Isn't a Knox box required?
Newer ones typically, yes.
The old buildings don't have them?
I don't know what has been done previously in Cedar Lake, but on all new buildings, I've been doing Knox boxes. Don could probably...
Well, I mean, the Knox box is a good idea if something
Yeah.
happens in the middle of the night.
But some fire stations that I've run into, they use another service other than Knox boxes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know which one we use.
So that's to your benefit too. I mean, if something
Yeah, because
happens-
when they open the gate without the key, well, you know.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
The other thing we mentioned too was that there'd be no storage parked in front of the building, none of your trailers or vans or whatever you use parked in front of the building.
Tim, did you have any comments on this?
Well, I guess, I mean, I know that I seem confused that we're going from approval and site plan approval, or site plan waiver, site plan approval. I have in this folder from this property, it shows that outdoor storage was only good while the Lansky family, as all golf cart, owned the property.
No, that's not true. You're reading it wrong.
Okay.
Because this goes to 99, his approval for storage is 97. And I shared that with him.
Whose property? So I guess I just want clarity of how.
Well, I want some clarity too, let's back up.
Yeah,
I want to know how much outdoor storage is.
At the end of the day,
It's been storage.
it's been a storage.
And I agree.
After the Lansky family sold it, it was a storage.
Boat storage.
In my view,
Yes.
it's grandfathered. So,
This is only unpaid areas, not storage.
I
Storage.
got-
Existing.
I got a bit of a problem sometimes with some of this stuff, because if you purchase something as it exists, you should have the assumption that you purchased it as it exists and you can continue to run it as it exists. So, and I'm sure that's how it was marketed as well. So I don't know how you take that away from someone when they purchased it
No,
the
and I
way
guess
it
I
existed.
agree 100% with what you're saying, but I'm saying that he's here, and he's getting an approval that it should be reiterated that he's approved to do the outdoor storage of X amount on the unpaved, I mean, the unpaved area is still the storage area, that's still the same spot that.
So is it, your concern is there's no number for outdoor storage? No quantity of items?
I guess that is part of my concern, and also that statement says that the outdoor storage was good while all.
No, that was just a pavement area. That was just a grass area. Here in 97.
Right, but where is it parked?
There it is, for outdoor storage, for that parcel. This is only referring to the unpaved area that remains, which is grass. Okay, that doesn't even say storage.
That's where the storage
It doesn't
is.
say storage.
Where is the outdoor storage, on the unpaved area?
No, right there, on that, that's the approval for his outdoor storage. They already had it approved. That was the petition and it was approved.
Okay, so they were approved for outdoor storage in 1997.
Correct.
And then right here, it says, motion made by Helen Judge to allow the approved unpaved area to remain as long as the Lansky family continues on the same location, on the same business, known as All Golf Cart.
Right. That's
So where's
just saying the
where's
unpaved areas.
So where is the outdoor storage currently? On the unpaved area, right?
Tim, what he has for outdoor storage is the same thing that Donnie King had, and Donnie King is actually still the one that's using it.
But if it's paved, then.
So it's the
That's just
exact
unpaved
same business.
I'm pretty sure I meant to go back and look at paved, it's, you know.
So the area in front of the barn there where the boats are parked, is that not gravel?
Some of it's gravel, but a lot of it, I gotta go back and look. I didn't pay
And I
attention.
I just want it clear that this
I
man has
disagree.
permission to park in the same spot from you guys that is, this, right now says that the Lanskys have permission to park in the
You're saying it was only
unpaved
for
area.
Lanskys?
Yeah, that's what he just read.
That's what you're-
Unpaved area.
The unpaved
So
area.
If it's unpaved, I mean, that's
So
still
Don,
where
and
it's
Don, so
being
Don
parked.
King had no approvals to park
Correct.
anything on the
I
unpaved
believe
areas?
so. I believe that is correct. So I just wanted, I want you guys to include in your approval that you can park X amount in that same conditions, or pave it or not, or, I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I just want I want to feel comfortable that he's got the right approval
Well,
to be able to.
it's certainly
do what he
existing,
wants.
it's certainly existing non-conforming.
Correct, and I agree with
Okay.
what Greg said too, I
Okay.
agree that, all that, but motion from you guys today saying that he could utilize that same existing parking that has been used in the past clarifies, you know what I mean, that updates it to.
Makes good
the
record.
gentleman being able to do the same thing, which I agree,
It's
it's
certainly
been
good to
like
make a
that.
good record, I just,
I got it.
it is what it's always been.
So can we add some facts to the pattern here for a second to assist in the record that's about to be made? So hopefully 20 years from now, this won't be occurring again. The Lansky's owned and operated the property, used it for storage, parked wherever they parked that was permitted, and following probably an approval to the BZA. This probably isn't the entire file, my recollection. Mike, that on the transfer by the Lansky's to a third-party purchaser, continuity of use occurred. How long was Don King there, 20 years? 25 years?
Yes.
Continued the use, same use, no other use. So legal nonconforming is met as suggested by Jerry. Now you're going forward, and I presume there's a continuity use. I presume there are boats parked on whatever the surface is, which hasn't changed or been improved or been modified in any way for 30 years. So nothing's changed about the property except the fee simple ownership, which apparently occurred twice in that 30-plus year period. That's what you're acting on. That's the foundation for your decision, whatever it is. It's either you're in your mind legal and permitted and approvable, or it's not. And if we go back and forth on unpaved and grass and all that, we're ignoring that fact pattern that just got laid out. Probably don't want to do that.
And just to clarify what Terry said, I mean, that approval in 1997, they had 2 years to pave that lot that's similar to the Tasty Top deal where, you know, back in the day.
They're gonna do it in the future?
They're gonna do it 2 years, but back then, that's why they came back in 1999, because it said that the BZA allowed to have the paving delayed and wanted a review in 2 years, as stated in the minutes from April 17, 1997. This matter was to be reviewed by the Board of Zoning Appeals, so that's where that decision came from, that they could keep it as long as the Lansky's had it for the other there.
And there was a transfer of that property from the heating and air conditioning cooling company. Who was the owner?
Bill Dudley.
Bill Dudley, thank you.
That's right.
And the BZA knew that there had been a change of use in the sense of style of commercial activity that was going to occur from a heating, air conditioning place to facility, boats and structures and vehicles. In the eye of the beholder, in that case, it was the BZA who deemed it appropriate and acceptable. And the continuity of the use began.
Continued.
I'm sorry?
And continued.
And continued to, right now, you got boats on there, right? Correct. Right or wrong, legal or illegal, there are boats there.
Mr. Chairman?
I
make a motion that we approve the satellite business at that location with the prior restrictions.
All right, okay, Jim made a motion to approve with prior restrictions. Do you have a question, Tim?
I guess you're the storage business and the Servpro, it's you.
Well, Carly, my partner in the building, owns the Servpro. I work for him, but we bought the building together, and I have the storage. So him and I have the storage together. Did that just make sense? I'm sorry.
No, I kind of did,
Okay.
I just wanted to know if they need to approve like 2 occupancies, because you're gonna have a storage business and a Servpro business, so, I mean, we got another one coming up here too, you know, and that's allowable, but if you're gonna have Servpro and the storage business, and then I don't know, I noticed you had some signs out there, storage, you know, space or.
That's just a storage space, yeah.
Storage, just for storage.
Yeah.
And that still would probably fall under the conforming, non-conforming condition.
Right.
Just so you know, we get lots of calls, people wanting woodworking shops, stuff like that. We're not saying we're
Right, just storage.
Just storage.
Well, considering the continuity and the legal non-conforming, other than, no parking overnight on Morse.
It's less than it was.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mr. Hunley to approve, second by Mr. Wilkeney. No further discussion, roll call.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeney?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Number 11, Hebron Golf Cart, second use permit occupancy, owner Jamie Vesley, 19102 Wicker Avenue, Lowell, Indiana, 46356. Petitioner Jacqueline Goodman, doing business as Hebron Golf Carts, 244 West 900 South Hebron, Indiana. Cindy of 9602 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Approval for second use occupancy permit at Scooter Shooters. Hi, name and address, please.
Jacqueline Goodman, 244 West 900 South in Hebron, Indiana.
Just give us a quick synopsis of what you want to do.
I'm just trying to see if I can occupy, selling golf carts at Shooter Scooters. Basically.
Is Scooter Suitors still in business?
Yes, she's still,
So you're just going to be selling them, you're not doing repairs or anything?
no, just sales, yeah, no repairs.
When you were here 2 weeks ago, there was some discussion about seasonal. Are you just doing 12 months, or is it gonna be 6 months, or what were you gonna do?
Basically, I normally after Labor Day, it kind of slows down for me. I won't lie, I have sold a few in the winter, but,
So your request is to do this for 12 months?
yes, if I could.
Well, I thought we had discussed it, and that it would be better for her to get a second use, not...
Alright, so if she gets a second use approved, she's gonna have occupancy for that building along with...
365.
She's done.
Okay.
Right.
There's no term on that.
Right, we don't want her coming back
So there
every
won't be
year.
any limits on weekends,
You just answered my question, because that's what I remember.
That's why they came to do this, so there's no coming back, this is the one and done.
Right.
As long as they own, keep their end of the deal they got there, everything is good.
And she's just gonna have cars parked outside during the day, and then we
Yeah,
go home.
I use the inside for a showroom too, so I'll have, a few cars outside, maybe 6 or 8, but most of them I try to keep inside.
Whatever she has out front, what she doesn't sell, she'll put back inside.
Oh, yeah, we put them away every night.
Hopefully she'll sell them all in one day.
That lot just to the west of you is up for sale. How close is that to your property line?
I'm sorry, it is, we got like a small parking space next to the garage, and then that lot,
I mean, if that lot's sold to someone else, will that affect your parking or anything?
No, none at all, no.
I don't even know if that lot's buildable now.
Well, I don't see any problem, we're not changing anything outside or doing anything there, we're just, going for a second use.
Yeah, I'm basically just gonna have the cars kind of sitting out there and they sell themselves.
If there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, Mr. President, that we approve the second use occupancy permit. It's Scooter Shooters, 9602 133rd Avenue.
Have a motion by Mr. Wilkeney.
Second it.
Second by Mr. Parker.
Mr. President,
Yes.
is it clear enough that the requested approval that is about to occur is for this use, this property, this owner? Some distinction of who you're...
I'll amend my motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the second occupancy for 9602 133rd Avenue, known as Scooter Shooters, for a second business for golf carts, Hebron golf carts.
And no other?
And no other. Yeah.
Jim, you agree? Mr. Greg?
Yes, I concur.
You had a question?
No, just, the only question I would have is if I'm approved, and that
in a minute.
What would be my next step?
All right. And, well, once you're approved, then if you need permits or whatever, then you go to the building department.
Building department? then-
Yeah, we have to vote on it right now. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapar?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. So you're approved now. Now you gotta go to the, whatever permits, whatever you need.
Occupancy.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Number 12, leaf leader, owner Tammy Maury, 13320 Lincoln Plaza, and number 4, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner Tammy Leaf Leader, Focus Nutrition, 10432 Nicholas Street, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Cindy of 13320 Lincoln Plaza, number 4, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Approval of a new business to communities like for like.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good.
Good.
Name and address?
Jamie Leeslider, 10432 Nicholas Street, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307.
And brief synopsis.
I am just looking to take over the Focus. Kelly, the current owner. I'd like to be the new owner and same business, like for life, new ownership.
Only difference is that you're going back to the old name, Focus Nutrition.
Yes.
But,
Well, nothing changing in the site plan or anything along those lines?
No.
Same business, just different owner?
No, yeah.
Is there any other discussion needed? Anybody?
are you gonna go to the engineer in the building department?
I'm asking if there's any other discussion.
None, sir, Don?
There's a document in our iPad, 875 square feet.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
Hours of operation, 7 to 4, 9 to 1, Saturday and Sunday. Employees 3. Employees parking 2, business
Yes.
parking 6.
Yeah.
Okay, handicap 1.
Yes.
Okay, just making
Nothing
sure, just making sure what we're looking at here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve, to continue the same business, just a new owner.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Mr. Carnahan to approve, seconded by Mr. Wilkenning. No discussion, roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapar?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
You're welcome, bye. Update items, Rose Garden, Tom McSherry. Long wait tonight, Tom.
Evening Commissioners, Tom McSherry with Lennar Homes, 1700 East Gulf Road, Suite 1100, Schaumburg, Illinois, 69173. Pardon me. As an update, punch list reinspection started by Public Works yesterday. Their goal is to finish blocks at a time, potentially phases at a time, if they do have the time in their schedule to do so. The only question I think I would have, and that might be Tim, we know, I mean, I know there's a lot of other projects going on, but do we have a estimated completion of when they might be able to complete everything for the reinspection?
For phase 1.
Phases 1 and 3.
Well, I think there's been like a stalemate from the list from phase 1. Like, everybody wants to get phase 1 done and move forward, like, I guess, I don't know why, but I was under the impression that the only thing lacking was that light, and then that light turned into a disaster now, so.
No, that light, I talked with Brandon today about it, I think they did that was the easiest thing for them, that it would be moved into the spot that it's supposed to be.
Right, which, okay, yeah, so I think that was the last thing, so with that being said, I think we can move forward with getting other inspections underway.
But you want to do phase 1 and get those all done first, then go to phase 2.
Well, I mean, the
and then
point,
phase-
the point of the thing was, is we wanted to get something finished before we kept moving on and making more lists. We just wanted to get some, and I think he's done that. I mean, he's made an effort to get all that stuff taken care of. And
Who's doing the inspections? Is it you or Don's crew?
it is the water guys, the sewer guys, and the storm, so a lot of people.
It's everybody.
Everybody.
Okay.
And it's a giant undertaking, and it's a lot
I'll
of.
bet it is.
I think, I mean, Public Works went through there, they didn't do just a list for Unit 1. I believe that,
Yeah.
they've done, I mean, we had, I don't know off the top of my head, I'm saying almost 300 structures that were all inspected at one point, so I mean, the re-inspection as they go through, I mean, yeah, we made some more adjustments on what we could see visually that needed to be adjusted, so I think that.
Well, that was the heartache of the whole thing, is that all that was done, and then we were asking for more redones, but nothing was checked. When we started re-inspecting phase 1, nothing was checked, nothing was done off of the first inspection, so we were like, we're not gonna start going through this all again, writing down the same stuff for the second time. So now he's gotten that phase 1 stuff done. That light, I think, was the one thing that everybody was like, well, we're not going back because there's still not a light.
It was a short whip for them to do that, so that's, they're gonna have a longer one. So I think as we go through, I don't know if end of May is realistic, just based on schedules and what they have to do, but, I have made the commitment before, if the guys are out there, they know they're gonna be there for a time, I can have the contractor with them. If that is not feasible, each week, if they go through and they have a list, I mean, the goal would be to have the contractor follow right behind them, so that by the time they finish their last block or last phase, we'll be caught up with them and it's done. So,
yeah, so we'll start redoing, we'll start at phase 1 and go through that way. I mean, I would say for sure we're gonna have at least, something started before the end of May, for sure. So we'll kind of go through and see. I mean, if we go through phase 1 and we have 5 items, and, when we can go to phase 2 and go on, but if we go through phase 1 and have 300 things again, like we had the first time, then we're gonna stop and say, which you told me we went through. I'm not saying we're going to have that.
Understood.
Saying it that way.
So I think going through, I mean, if we're doing blocks at a time, the goal was for any of the adjustments that had been made, I was gonna have Mackie go out there, shoot all the elevations, submit the, response to Seabell's comment letters, and have one final set of record drawings. I think doing it block by block, we're gonna go out, we're gonna shoot everything as it sits there today after it has been adjusted. We'll get that response back to you with everything that we've done on it. I think that way you can review that concurrently while Public Works is still performing their inspections. Also, as a follow-up to last month's meeting, our Customer Experience Department has been in contact with the residents that have voiced their concerns with issues with their homes. Work has been completed, in some cases is still being performed. A couple of the items that were brought up last meeting, aerators and diffusers, install scheduled for 5/9. West berm repairs are scheduled for the week of 5/12. And that section of sidewalk that was put in at the wrong width, that's gonna be torn out on May 8th, reframed, poured on May 9th, and then the restoration with that will be handled with the West berm restoration that will be taking place the week of May 12th. So, with that, any questions? I'm all
I've heard some of the residents' complaints have been taken care of. Especially the lady, I believe they had the first house on the corner area, working on that.
The model home?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the ones we're still working on. That is being addressed, and I believe to her satisfaction. We'll make sure that it is done correctly.
I just heard that you don't have to go to the Y anymore.
Yeah, that's good for everybody.
And you're gonna stick around during public comment in case any of the
Yeah, if
residents...
anybody has any comments, like always, make ourselves available afterwards. We can certainly take any comments that anybody has and continue working with our residents.
All right, thank you.
Well, Tom, I'm happy to see it moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now I'm lost.
Summer winds.
Number 2.
Oh, yeah, summer winds commercial maintenance letter credit in the amount of $25,752.60 to expire on April 21st, 2025.
All punch list items have been completed. As of our inspection on April 2nd, we issued a letter on April 3rd to kind of memorialize that, so the maintenance letter credit can be allowed to expire. Sounds good.
Okay, works for me. Number 3, 141 141st Partners Performance Letter of Credit in the amount of $473,444.50 to expire on April 22nd, 2025. Terry, you have something to add?
Yes, we have the amended version. I gave a copy to David. I just got it today from Centir. Everything appears to be in order, but I wanted David to review it. The copies are there. I don't see any changes, and I'm sure David could make his comment on that. One of the things that, John, you and I talked about, I'm going to let some of the other guys know, is that instead of like a 1-month notice on these items here, we're probably going to extend it to a 3-month notice. So you'll see more names on letters of credit, and we'll actually put the dates when they're going to expire. And that's a benefit for other people to make sure that they do their inspections and other things that are going to take place. So we're going to try to make it easier for everyone to do their job well. So you'll see more names on there. It doesn't mean that we have that many are happening. You'll see the expiration dates on it.
So Terry, the performance letter of credit, is that done? Is that cleaned up?
David's got it right now. So
Just got it tonight.
yeah.
On first blush, it looks fine, but I'll read it carefully.
So, that's fine, it's just, we accept that and do we have to make a motion or something to accept it, or?
Well, you should make a motion to the town council to approve it, but town council will not meet before this thing expires. So
Which takes me back to my question. Are we approving this performance letter of credit to draw on it, or we're going to approve or disapprove of, or is this good to go? I mean, this $473,000? Is
He
this?
said he's got a
They're willing to extend it.
Centurion.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna extend it?
Yeah, they're gonna extend
Okay,
it.
all right. It does, okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna extend it. I didn't hear that before.
Yeah.
The full amount too.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna make a motion, or we need a motion to send it, to the town council, approval to the town council.
Approve and
to accept-
recommend approval.
To accept this,
You approve and recommend approval by the town council.
right.
When we go to the next town council meeting, I'll ask that it be ratified. And we'll act on it in the interim if we have to.
So you want to just keep those then, what you got?
Well, these aren't
Keep
original.
the folder,
Yeah, if you don't mind.
it's yours.
Clerk treasurer needs to have the original for the sake of.
Yes.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the extension of the 141st Partners performance letter of credit that's set to expire April 22nd, $473,445.50 per. I'd also like to make a motion that we say a favorable recommendation to the council regarding the acceptance of the extension.
Motion by Mr. Parker to send a favorable
No,
to the town
Mr.
council.
Wilkeny.
I mean, Mr. Wilkeny,
He does better than me.
So
I'll
John,
second it.
seconded by Mr. Parker.
I'm sorry. So we're perfectly clear, we need to sign it, and it needs to be processed. We won't get it all done before the deadline, so we need to approve for purposes of meeting the timeline here. And if there are issues with it, we'll report those to you.
If there's issues, what?
If there are issues, if there are problems with the document.
Or we're gonna get to the point where it has to be, if there's a problem with the document, then it's gonna have to be pulled on.
Right, so your motion should just be contingent on legal review.
Well,
That's what I said.
yeah, but if the letter expires before it gets to town council, then we can't draw it.
You can't
Right.
vote on it. We're sending it to the town council tonight, recommending approval. And I'm gonna recommend that Nick Recupedo sign it as council president, the clerk treasurer attests, so it can be processed.
So I don't need to amend my motion?
I don't think so. I just
Okay.
wanna make it clear, and I felt that I did.
Okay,
Apologize for that.
all right. I'll amend my motion to include today's recommendation of expedited signatures.
Okay, and you agree, Mr. Parker?
Yes, I concur.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Okay, now to the amended items on the agenda. First up is, we need to appoint somebody to the unsafe building board. Is that a board?
I'll make a motion to appoint James Hunley.
I'll second that.
And a motion to appoint Mr. Hunley to the unsafe building board, and seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, Jim. Now, we also need to appoint, or appoint, I guess, a recording secretary.
I'll make a motion to appoint Greg Parker.
I'll second it.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When did somebody up here get dubbed the tasks of doing minutes?
It was Heather, was it?
Oh, recording secretary isn't necessarily minutes, folks. It's sign the
Ceremonial.
Oh, okay.
That was,
All right.
that was that.
Cheryl is in charge.
Ceremonial signatures, got it.
Nobody wants Cheryl's job.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if
Nobody
somebody was
wants Cheryl.
leaving.
It's just plan commission secretary, it's not recording secretary.
Okay.
What is it?
Plan commission.
It's just a plan commission
No, they did the
secretary,
next thing.
not the recording secretary.
We don't want a retired guy doing that? We got
All
three of
right,
them up
let
here.
me
We're outnumbered.
rephrase that nomination as we have a nomination for, to appoint Mr. Parker as the Plan Commission Secretary. Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Wilkening.
Hunley.
Mr. Hunley.
Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes. Congratulations, Greg. Another hat.
We might be seeing more of each other, John.
All right,
You know how to go.
before you go to public comment, I think Don's going to say something.
No, no. We'll talk about it
What are you
later.
wanting to say, Bob?
We'll talk about it after the meeting.
Oh. I thought you were gonna do it publicly.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to, public comment.
No.
We have any public comment? State your name and address, please.
My name is James Kaporis. The address is 14316 Clover Avenue. I was at the meeting in March 19th, presented a list of concerns to the commission along with photos. The commission asked the Lennar representative to set up a meeting with the owners. It's been a month. We have not heard a thing.
Still no meeting?
No meeting. So, where do we go from here?
Well, after the meeting, you can talk to that gentleman there in the blue shirt. Mr.
I gave that gentleman in the blue shirt my name, my phone number, and my email, along with the list of concerns that I provided to the commission.
Tom, is the list of people that long that this gentleman hasn't been gotten to yet?
No, the main concern that we had talked about was the west berm, and that is gonna be taking place. The
They
repairs
asked
are
you
gonna
to
be taking
set
place.
the, I'm sorry.
When we were talking during that time, I think everybody had agreed that there was not going to be a meeting with that. I mean, at that meeting, that was the second time that was addressed. So there's not going to be a meeting with all the residents. If there were concerns that had to do with your home, or anything that had to do with the community, you could reach out, go through our portal, be able to file a claim. A lot of residents have done that, and if you would like to do that, you're more than welcome to, and I'll stick around and show you how to do that.
Tom?
Yes,
What do you consider?
You gave a date for the west berm,
the week of 5/12,
5/12.
yes.
when he was up here before, week of 5/12, it's going to be fixed, the week of May.
And that'll be right here. Week of 5/12 is the work on that west berm. So the concerns that you had about grading, some bare spots, some overseeding, weeds that were growing up, that's all gonna be taken care of.
It's already been looked at.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, your pictures were indicative of everything that was up and down there, and that will be addressed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good evening.
Hi, Angie Michaelajchuk, 12806 Lee Court. I wanted to come tonight because I've been following along with the meetings the past couple of weeks, and it's been said more than 2-3 times about the backyards being 30 feet and then 15 to 20 feet of that being a drainage or a utility easement. And I have heard other residents say that it's just too small because you only have 15 feet to perhaps, if you wanted to put up a shed, there's really no room for it, a pool or anything like that. So I was coming to ask this board, when you do the plan approvals for stuff, do you see the drain easement and utility easement in the final plat? I mean, in the plat?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
But the things have been changing. Unfortunately, we got into this moratorium and what have you, so there's no building going on, so we're not seeing any developers on new developments.
Sure.
But we've been running into problems with the size of the lots, just for people wanting to put up 3-car garages instead of 2-car garages, or putting a pool in, they don't have the room, or what have you.
Yes.
And so our intent, at least mine is, and I believe the rest of the board is too, is to see that the lot sizes that developers are building on is sufficient to allow, like 3-car garages and/or
Allow people to use their yards.
or something, right?
Yes.
But unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to do any more
Yeah,
subdivisions.
I just wanted you to consider it, and as long as I'm on that, I'm gonna try to hurry, but because like the front of my house is 30 feet, the backyard's 30 feet, but 20 feet of the front yard is utility easement. The 30 feet, the backyard, 15 feet is utility easement. Between the between the property lines, there's 10 feet. So, and on the other side, and so that would be like where the water goes, that's where all the utilities are, the gas line, the electric, all that, on the 10 feet. On the other side, the way that my property is at an angle, I literally have 1 foot, 1 or 2 feet in the front of my house that starts the drainage easement, and then it goes on a turn, so I have like 10 feet. So I have like, not very much. So I know that was back in the day, but I'm just asking if you can consider that for peaceful living, that people have a little bit more room to, if they have a dog or something.
We do,
Okay.
which is to his point. If the lots are big enough, we don't have to worry about 3 seasons rooms. We don't have to worry about 3 seasons rooms in a swimming pool. For example, Lynn's Way.
Right.
Somebody wants to put a 3 seasons room on. We ran into problems in Lynn's Way several years ago, the BZA, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The easement in the back wasn't even square, it wasn't straight.
Yeah.
So it had to be squared up, straightened out, and it kind of started, if I remember right, where somebody wanted a 3 seasons room or put one on with no permit, which opened the door for
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
Well, then they can't put a pool, so they go to the BZA and ask for then they want a pool. Well, now they create their own hardship because they,
Right.
So it gets messy.
I get it, I'm just saying.
When
for
these
the
smaller
future,
lots, yeah. with these
and
smaller
I'm
lots.
sure you do, because there's been a lot of residents who have.
We're well aware of
Yes,
it.
okay, thank you.
And part of the thing, I believe Tim had a conversation with another resident last night, that you need so much space on there to get in and work on these projects, correct?
Yes, I just follow along.
Absolutely.
Sure. So that brings me to what I wanted to say about that, is because tonight, I know that there was a developer that had I guess the requirements now is 12 foot between the house, and he asked for 10, and it was approved. So that takes if you're having a house to a house, that's 4 feet. And I'm telling you, air conditioner to air conditioner, that's not much for the drainage. I just wanted to.
Well, that's 20 feet.
It's 10 on each. No,
Well-
it's 12 on each, so it's 24 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's
Yeah.
different.
And those are
It's still
much
4.
bigger lots
Compared to what?
Compared to what?
Yes.
I was just giving you reference.
Yes, sir,
That
okay.
I can remember.
And then, I'm sorry to ask, but does that need a BZA? Is that, or do
No,
we just?
because it hasn't been approved yet.
Okay.
They approved.
Oh, it wasn't
It was a
approved?
waste. No, tonight was the approval.
They got approved tonight.
Yeah, they got approved tonight. The plat got approved.
But it didn't need to go on the Board of Zoning Appeals so people could talk
No,
about
because it hadn't been already approved.
Okay.
If the
I got
buggy
you.
was before the horse, they would have to.
Okay, and then, the other thing I wanted to say, so that was the two things. And I just wanna say, because while I was sitting here, I'm like, what's this surf internet? And no disrespect to anybody that likes it, but I just wanna tell you a few things that I found out just by looking on my phone. With the Better Business Bureau, there were 44 reviews, 24 of them gave them a 1 star. Only 12 of them gave them a 5, and the rest were in between. The Down Detector today alone, 96% were internet issues. The potential buyers of Surf Internet, are Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T. On Fiber Finder, which evaluates internet service providers, they said that they're on the higher side in comparison to other providers. The only communities that they serve in Lake County are Crown Point, Lowell, Hobart, Dyer, Cherville. And it also says it's just construction is active in those places. They've been in business for 25 years, but in 23 years of business, they only had 27,000 customers. It jumped to 140 in 2024, which is probably these new places here. And then they say, they drop 20 to 30% in speed during peak times, which are evening and weekends, which is probably when people are working during the day, it's not. So like us at home, the evening and weekends, it drops in the speeds.
You don't have that problem, do you?
And, and also one last thing, one last thing. They bill in advance for services. So sometimes with companies like that, if you have any internet issues where it's out, you have to fight really hard to get a credit if they're out 2-3 days.
Well, their business model is their business.
Yeah.
And if they're willing to make the investment and roll the dice, and those complaints about speed,
Yeah.
we don't know what package they bought either.
Yeah, well, you could read it. If anybody just Googles that, I use DuckDuckGo, but if you just put it in there, everything I just told is right there.
Our concern is what they're tearing up or not
Who they're
tearing.
what?
Our concern is what they are or may tear up in town.
Well, exactly, that's why I looked, because I'm not happy with the either 20 or 30 feet around my house getting torn up, especially with some other issues I'm having, so.
Hopefully
that's
they'll
why I
do
looked.
hopefully they'll do some directional boring and the interruptions will be minimal.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment? Name and address, please.
Hi, yes, Uriel Savalos, 10093 West 144th Court, here in Cedar Lake. This is my first appearance here. I live in the Rose Garden community, and I have a couple issues going on. First one is the kitchen. Flooring is just not really leveled. It's uneven. Lennar did come out and made an attempt during our warranty, but it just really didn't hold up. It's I think only 6 months or 8 months passed by, and it's already becoming a problem. And the other problem that I had brought up to Lennar a while ago is our porch system. I'm very concerned about it because there's a crack going down in a horizontal fashion, and it's getting worse. Like, you can just visibly see it. I have a few photos if you guys are interested in viewing it, but the concrete portion is it's just kind of worrying to kind of walk by it every single morning and kind of take a look at it. And I just thought I'd come here, mention it. I haven't actually talked to Tom yet, but just wanted to make you guys aware of what's going on.
What's wrong with the concrete?
So I know just a little bit about the concrete. I know vertical, typically when you see vertical cracks, it's kind of more normal, but the horizontal cracking is sometimes can be quite alarming, especially when the width is it's expanding. It's not really fine. it's kind of, I mean, I don't know the exact measurement, but it's not, like, it's, I don't know, in my opinion, it just worries me. And again, it's in a horizontal fashion, meaning it just comes across this way versus the typical vertical that you kind of see in port systems or concrete foundations, pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's the guy to get on his list.
Okay.
Have somebody look at it.
Okay, just wanted to put it on record and make you guys aware of it.
Yeah, we like good records.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other public comments?
Nobody's online either.
Okay. Said nobody?
Nobody.
Pam Howard, 10013 West 141st. I'm in Rose Garden. I did not have to shower at the Y this week. Right now, Lennar has me at a hotel because they're doing some extensive work. I just want to say they have been very responsive. So
Good to hear
Huh?
Good to hear that.
Yes, yes. My only concern is their subcontractor that's doing my plumbing. I questioned them immensely. That's not Lennar, it's their subcontractor. But overall, they have been very responsive. So thank you.
Any other public comment? Last call. All right, public comment is closed. Now, I've got a question that I'd like to ask. I'm a little confused, and I'm throwing this kind of towards the staff there, on what's happening with NIPSCO. And we set up here to where we're supposed to make decisions on stuff that's in front of us, which NIPSCO is one of them, and I hear nothing. And I think this commission deserves a report on what's going on, if there's meetings going on, and what have you. We need to know what's transpiring in them, because we're asked questions, or we're questioning what we know, or you know, what should we do with it, and we don't know what's going on. We don't even know what they're talking about. My comment all along has been, if they have a reason for not wanting to make a one-lot subdivision, give us the reason, let us chew it and spit it out and see where it lands. But they're not even doing that, and we get no reports. We have no information up here that I know of what's happening with NIPSCO.
I'm looking through my email right now, John, and I have had a few emails about NIPSCO, but I don't know if I have enough to give you anything you're looking for. I get tons of emails.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just skim through them. Staff.
I know that, I've had some discussion with Ben about, I guess what I was told is that, and Don, that they, it was talked about here about the one-lot subdivision requirement and maybe waiving that requirement for NIPSCO since they're a public utility, and I think it got to the council, and I don't know what happened, but I know that it was said that if somebody's got to do it, then NIPSCO's got to do it too, and I don't know where that has gone, but I think that there's been a lot of confusion on NIPSCO's ask is for a waiver from the ceremonial one-lot subdivision, not from any other standards like drainage and, all the other stuff for that project. They have an awesome detention pond and plans and erosion control plan and everything else, so I guess.
Well, to John's point though, we don't
No,
know any of
where all
that.
this
And their
conversation
your presentation, sir, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago was very frustrating for me.
All I also seen is the emails that were sent to you, John and Jerry, and, I've seen those same emails too, but that's been it also, so I have had no other conversation. I know that we as in Ben, me, Nick Mauger, and John, the new police chief, had lunch with these two ladies from NIPSCO trying to establish some community relations, and they brought up the Hagar substation thing when we were eating lunch, and just asked, you know, what was the feeling. So I don't know if they were coming back to make a decision. I don't know what's going on either, other than...
The only meeting, I think Terry and I met with their group once, and this was several weeks ago now.
Yeah.
We only discussed engineering items. They were very clear that they did not have the authority to speak about the one-lot subdivision item, nor the building moratorium item.
We were
That
actually...
was going to be
we were actually
discussed
given a
about.
document stating that that's all they could talk about.
Yeah.
And what I don't understand is, I don't even know why they're before us, because when they built that one substation over there by Casey's, they just went ahead and built it, and we had no say in it, and I'm surprised they're even coming to us now, because I didn't think they ever had to come to us.
I think they have to, whether they followed the rules the first time.
Well, somebody needs to get in front of that lectern there and tell us, this commission, what's going on, and if they have a good reason why they don't have to make it a one-lot subdivision, tell us, so we can make our educated decision, instead of all this BSing around that nobody knows what's going on. Tim has one version, Greg has one, I got one, what, you know. I want to know what's going on, I want to get this off my docket.
Well,
Plain and simple.
I can tell you the last coherent thing that I heard, and I just read through my emails, and it's just a lot of back and forth. The last coherent thing that I heard is they were willing to do everything that the town requires, except the one-lot subdivision, because they're not required to do it anywhere else, and they don't want to set a precedent.
Well, then come up here and tell us that.
That's exactly what I've heard. They don't want to do it because they don't want to set a precedent that they have to start doing it in other cities and towns.
Come up here and tell us that.
And they also said that they were exempt for some of those things.
Well, the guy with the internet is not exempt.
Well,
And, you know, he's putting infrastructure, and he lives in the easements too.
at the end of the
So-
day, Jerry, what can you...
Well, I understand.
What's more important, electric and gas, or
well-
surfing the internet?
And I do not want to have the same kind of a problem that I have with water in this town. If we need electricity in this town, for this town to operate, I want them to move forward.
Well,
I don't want to be faced with another problem.
I don't disagree with you, but there's a little more to the Hager modifications, it seems as though. I asked Terry, I don't think he had heard any of these rumors. NIPSCO is soliciting easements from people west of the tracks on the south side of the road to put in new light poles, big steel poles that ornately, when they get rusty, they're supposed to look nice. Big poles. They're getting aerial easements. Do they have to come in for that? If they're moving the poles? I mean, I'm looking for an answer.
They're getting easements down Parish too.
Okay, well, they're obviously, I mean, there's infrastructure being built in, and I don't disagree with you, Bob. But do they have to come in here, because now they're changing the skyline, for the lack of a better term?
I mean, they come in for utility-type permits directly through the building department.
In their view,
All utilities do that.
a legal lot of record isn't going to affect how their infrastructure works one way or the other. They're not marketing properly.
I understand. I'm talking about when they start changing, when they come in and do this infrastructure modification, just like the cable people.
I understand what you're saying, and
Okay.
I understand what they're saying. If they're not required to do it anywhere else, they're not about to start just volunteering to do stuff that they're not required
And
to do anywhere else.
that's fine, come here and tell us.
They're just adding on to the existing stations that they have now, right?
Yeah,
It's a substantial upgrade.
yeah, it's a big upgrade.
It's a big upgrade.
The whole problem is lack of communication. And you're not getting anything from Christmas if you don't tell Santa what you want. And they're not telling us what they want. Excuse me.
So to my question, the light pole project, modification project, and things like that, do they need to come here for that?
I don't know about here, certainly building department. I mean, we probably, how many?
You got your fingers crossed?
I mean, we get utility permits quite often.
Okay, all right.
Like,
Well, so long as somebody's policing this stuff.
yeah, we look at all of them.
But my whole point in bringing it up is, I would like this commission to be a little more informed about what's going on
And I don't know why the Hagar substation deal has dropped off the plan commission, or why has it dropped off?
Well, I think the initial direction from this board was to have Terry and I meet with them, but then they wouldn't essentially talk to us about that. They wanted the attorneys to talk, and when that would happen, I haven't heard anything about it. Engineering's clear on it, pretty much, minus one thing, that's it.
They continue to follow up on their improvement on the environmental and engineering and drainage, which Don addressed, gave them the recommendations, and they've made the corrections.
We're just waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting for,
And to,
I don't know what we're waiting for.
well, to make good record, the east side substation modifications, that has ran into some snags with property?
Well, they need to acquire a piece of property for
Okay.
them to do what we've asked them to do,
Okay.
to correct the drainage.
All right,
I think they're working on it.
okay, that's what they're working on that.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't approve,
I haven't heard
they
it.
haven't acquired.
I just want to make sure everybody knows what you and I briefly talked about last week.
Okay, that was what I had to say. Anybody else got anything to say?
I'd like to know, what did we amend the agenda for at the beginning?
What did we, what?
Were there just things missing, were there just things missing on here? The broom?
Yeah,
Starsovich?
those are
Okay.
missing, yeah.
Okay, so we
We
jumped on.
apologize.
Oh, no, I just want to make sure.
It was a big agenda.
As you can tell, the
It was a big
agenda was
agenda.
really full, and we
Yep.
just made it fuller.
Yep, okay. I'm good.
Okay, we're adjourned.